recording on a gloomy day in Charlotte, but hoping you are having a bright holiday season. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Bryant, and time once again for your Big South Network viewing guide for the days ahead. In fact, we're going to take you through the end of 2010. Believe it or not, it is time to get our way through the rest of the calendar year. I would talk about just this week, but this is a fairly light week, and then things pick up thereafter. So let's just go ahead and take you from December 16th through the beginning of 2011. 2011 is here, and we got a bunch of games in those first couple days. Then there's a couple days off, so the games actually stop on the 3rd, but it basically runs through the 5th because there are no games in the other days. I'm Mark Bryant, the Director of Multimedia Development here for the Big South. Very happy to talk about what we've got for you in late December, mid and late December and early January for the Big South Network. Let's begin with men's basketball. And the lineup is a good one. Starts out fairly light and spread out and then accelerates from there. Here you see Thursday to the 16th, King College at Asheville. It's a 7 o'clock tip. Same for William and Mary at Liberty on Saturday the 18th. And then Monday the 20th, that's Thomas More at Coastal Carolina, a 7 o'clock start. We go from there to the 21st. Actually, I was still on that one. And then 21st, Bluefield at Charleston Southern, and that is a 7:30 tip on the 21st. And that's it for pre-Christmas for the men. And then jumping to the other side of the holiday, here you see the 28th, Tuesday the 28th, 3 games on tap, all 7 o'clock tip-offs. Union at Liberty, Dickinson at Radford, and the Parkway Series renews, Western Carolina at Asheville. And that's always a good matchup in most any sport for those two schools. Then the real stuff begins because it's conference play, the full season conference play treatment here, because it's virtually all conference play here on in, with a couple exceptions. But for the men, it begins on New Year's Eve with a lineup of 5 games, and really off to a roaring start. Of course, High Point, Liberty, and Coastal Carolina, each undefeated going into the full round of conference play because they won their 1 and 2 games that they had in that early look at conference play. Coastal had 1 game, beat Charleston Southern by just a bucket, and High Point and Liberty each won a pair of ball games. So they got that leg up going into this next group, but a lot of games to be played. So here we go. Radford at Coastal Carolina. That'll be at 2 on that Friday. Of course, no late starts. Everyone wants their New Year's Eve free to close out the years. 2 o'clock starts for Radford at Coastal, VMI at Asheville. 4:30 tip for High Point at Charleston Southern. 5:30 for Liberty at Gardner-Webb, and Presbyterian College at Winthrop is at 6. So that would be your latest one for that Friday. And then that wraps up men's basketball calendar 2010. We move into 2011, and we see the 1-2-11, that is, just to make sure that you can, the slashes don't show up too well, do they? January 2nd, Sunday, High Point at Coastal. That's a 2 o'clock start. Liberty at Asheville, also at 2. Of course, that High Point at Coastal, that could be one that echoes down the way. We'll see where those teams stand when they face and where they stand at the end. Should be a good game right here on the Big South Network. 3 o'clock for VMI at Gardner-Webb. 4:30 for Radford at Charleston Southern, and that gets you again through the end of December and into the beginning of January for the men's side. Now on the women's side, similar story, starts spread out, a few games here in mid and late December. Converse at Gardner-Webb, that's 7 o'clock on Thursday the 16th. Then it actually skips all the way to Wednesday the 22nd, and here's a matchup for you. Purdue coming to Gardner-Webb. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off, and Gardner-Webb beat Purdue up in Indiana. So we'll see how this happens when they come to Boiling Springs for the holidays. Virginia Commonwealth at Radford on the 23rd, a 3 o'clock start there, and looking ahead to Tuesday the 28th, Southern Wesleyan at Winthrop, 7 o'clock. And Wednesday the 29th, TNT. No, it's Tennessee Temple there, taking on Gardner-Webb, 7 o'clock. on Wednesday the 29th. Thursday the 30th, trio of games. 5 o'clock tip-off for Richmond at Radford. Campbell at PC at 7, and then Colorado State at Winthrop. That's at 7 o'clock. So if you see CSU on the schedule, it's not Charleston Southern this time. It's Colorado State. And then Friday, New Year's Eve, that inner city battle there, that crosstown rivalry, College of Charleston, Charleston Southern, 2 o'clock start for that. And then Gardner-Webb, another big one here, North Carolina, coming to Gardner-Webb for women's basketball on the 31st at 3 o'clock. So be sure to tune in on the Big South Network for those games. A lot of good matchups, but particularly Purdue coming to town in Boiling Springs, and the Tar Heels coming to Boiling Springs as well on the 22nd and 31st, respectively. And then, just like the men, the women get into the conference play, and there are 4 games for you on Monday the 3rd. Charleston Southern at Gardner-Webb at 5:30. 7 o'clock tip-offs for the rest of them. Radford at Asheville, Coastal Carolina at Presbyterian College, and Liberty at High Point. In all, in these next couple weeks here as we close out December and begin January, 16 men's games, 14 women's games for a total of 30 streaming basketball games on the Big South Network. What better gift could there be, right? So enjoy the holiday season with a lot of hoops from the Big South Network. Now, if you want to get these games, they are all available. You can subscribe now. Buy the game. You can get them individually for $4.95 a game. That is true for every one of these games we've mentioned. If you want all the men's games or all the women's games, we can do that. So you can order by the sport. If you want both men's and women's games, you said, you know, that's a great lineup. I want all 30 plus what comes after. We can do that with the winter combination, get you men's and women's basketball and the other events that come along in the interim. We've got some wrestling, for example, coming up from Liberty later on, and swimming and diving for the CCSA. All those things coming up January, February. But you can also get the annual subscription. That gets you every event we do on the Big South Network for a full calendar year, and that's pretty much 700 live events: football, basketball, baseball, soccer, volleyball, swimming, track, wrestling, even lacrosse. We've had a number of things. It's amazing how much we get from all our wonderful member schools contributing to this collective network here, so you can get the annual pass. Your best buy on a per-game basis by far is that deal right there. Now, don't forget, you can find us not only at BigSouthSports.com, the home of the Big South Network, presented by State Farm, but you can also find us Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Blogger. All those things are available, and all of them link off of BigSouthSports.com, so you might as well start there. If you're having any problems with the video stream, just a reminder, you can call for technical support, 877-967-3267. That is our web and streaming host, New Lion. You can also email them, specify your problem. Fan support, all one word, fan support at newlion.com. That's NEULION.com. Be sure if you're sending your email that you include technical support or billing or what have you, so that they are able to direct that and handle that swiftly on your behalf. And again, that phone number, 877-967-3267. Again, I'm Mark Bryant, Director of Multimedia Development here at the Big South Conference. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Enjoy this time of year. Enjoy what we have to offer you here on the Big South Network, presented by State Farm. And we'll talk to you in 2011 with more conference play in basketball here on the Big South Network. Take care.